Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to a special economic weather report brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand, where we report on a sharp fall in the New Zealand dollar on Thursday afternoon. Just after midday, the New Zealand dollar fell almost 1 cent in less than an hour. In fact, inside 3 hours it fell more than 1.3 US cents. It's now down at 85.3 US cents late on Thursday afternoon. That's down from 88.4 US cents as recently as Monday, so it's quite a sharp fall in a relatively short period of time. So what's going on here? Well, overnight, the Swiss National Bank intervened to push the Swiss franc down versus the US dollar. It's got all sorts of problems with exporters struggling with a very strong Swiss franc. So it announced it was cutting its interest rate to 0% and announced it would intervene to push the Swiss franc lower against the US dollar. But the big event today has been the intervention by the Bank of Japan. It says it needs to protect its exporters, so it wants a lower yen versus the US dollar. This is all about US money printing. Talk of a third round of quantitative easing, or money printing, has started to bubble up again in recent days. That came after signs of a very weak US economy appearing to head back towards a triple-dip recession. It's rekindled talk of currency wars and whether the Reserve Bank of New Zealand itself has intervened this afternoon. Frankly, we don't know. We've asked the Reserve Bank. They've repeated their usual line that they won't comment on these sorts of matters. We'll wait to see whether the Reserve Bank has intervened. They'll disclose it in their monthly figures, and we may not hear for another 2 or 3 weeks. But the Reserve Bank does have the power to intervene to push the New Zealand dollar down. In fact, it did it in 2007. Back then, the trade-weighted index was at 76.9 in mid-2007. And currently, the trade-weighted index got up over 74 on the trade-weighted index. However, Alan Bollard, the Reserve Bank Governor, and John Key, the Prime Minister, have both said they've been reluctant to intervene in the past, that it's risky for taxpayers. However, the Bank of Japan and the Swiss National Bank think differently, and they intervened quite aggressively last night. It does raise the question of what happens to the world of currencies when you have someone like the US Federal Reserve openly willing to print money to devalue their currency and try to export their way out of trouble. Of course, that creates the risk of currency wars, of bigger-than-neighbour currency policies. And begs the question, should New Zealand stand aside? Or should it get involved and try and devalue its currency too? I'm Bernard Hickey. That was a special economic weather report brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand.